Alright, today I'm going to shoot a short walk around video on my 76 CB550F Super Sport. I'm going to try to keep the yakking to a minimum. I want to point out 3 small flaws while I'm walking around the bike. Got a pretty favorable sun angle today, so hopefully the shadows won't be too distracting. I'll start with a walk around at this distance so you can see how the bike presents from 6 feet away. Then I'll get a little closer and point out a few details. Starting at the front, this is a brand new Fender. It's an aftermarket Fender, but it's a very high quality item. The original Fender wasn't bad at all, but it had a pretty significant dent that couldn't be resolved easily. You'll notice that both headlight ears are excellent chrome. There is a small dent right where my finger is that could easily be removed. I haven't bothered with that yet. And while I'm talking about flaws, this right side cover near the seat latch where my finger is, there's a chip. It usually happens when people remove the side cover incorrectly in the wrong sequence and they bang it on this seat latch. I haven't bothered to touch it up because I thought the touch-up might be worse than the chip. The third flaw that I should mention is on this grab bar bracket for the left rear turn. At some point the bike must have had a tip over incident and it bent this bracket where my finger is. Whoever repaired it did a pretty decent job of lining it back up so that the turn signals ride correctly, and if you didn't know to look for it, you probably wouldn't notice the difference on the right side versus the left side that's a little bit bent. That could probably be corrected with some heat and some pounding, but I haven't bothered with that. So let me continue showing you the rest of the bike. As of today, it's showing 892 miles from new. Gauges are excellent. All the switch gear is good. This is a new switch here. This is the original switch on the right side. Mirrors are excellent. This is a new odometer knob. All the turn signals are great. The gaiters are great. Finish on the sliders, pretty decent. Finish on the rims and spokes, really excellent. The caliper has been rebuilt and it has a brand new rotor. And it has a brand new EBC semi-metallic pads. I painted the edges so that it wouldn't be obvious that they're aftermarket. They came with this horrible orange color. Headers are original and show the typical Honda discoloration. That's not bluing from incorrect mixture. That's just inferior quality chrome that Honda insists on using back in those days. So it's got correct mixtures. It's just that's how they age. It's in pretty good shape. It's got a completely new ignition system, wires, plugs, caps, coils, Dyna S ignition. I'll show you that on the other side. Actually, there's a still picture of that. Side covers are, the engine covers on the ends are pretty good condition. Carbs are in fantastic condition. They were sent out at some point about 6 years ago to Old School Carbs, and he did a wonderful job with the cosmetic restoration of the carbs. So they have all new fasteners and lots of finishing details that you wouldn't typically find. That's a new petcock. Behind this side cover is a Rick's electric rectifier regulator combination unit. That's a nice unit. All the rubbers on the gear shift and foot pegs, passenger pegs, correct. Kickstand rubber. Rear shocks are new at some point. They have 5 position adjusters rather than the 3 position adjusters. So that's how I know they're not original, they're aftermarket. But they ride really, really well. My weight is about 175 and I think I've got it on the middle setting and it rides exceptionally well. I've got a new chain on it. You'll notice the master link is right there with the rivet link. When I got it, it had an O-ring chain, which is incorrect for these bikes because O-ring chains are about 2 or 3 millimeters too wide. And when things wear, you get some lateral movement that can scrub on the case behind the front sprocket. I was a little bit alarmed by that when I discovered I had an O-ring chain, but I took it off, and luckily they put so few miles on it. All it did was leave some witness marks, but it didn't damage the case, so that was very lucky. Rear wheel is excellent. You might see some chain lube residue, but it's actually excellent chrome. You can see that I have a new chain by the adjustment marks there. It's near the front. Chrome on the chain guard is wonderful. Brand new tires. They were installed about 6 months ago. Bridgestone Spitfires. I really like this tire. I've used it on a lot of bikes. Exceptional tire. Rear fender is excellent, both on the outside and on the inside. I'll show you under the seat. The wiring is very pristine. The bike has never been butchered or anything. Seat details are exceptional. I've shown this in the other videos, but this is the relay for the relay fired coils. Nice upgrade. All the decals and graphics are really swell. I don't find any evidence that there's ever been any paint work on the tank or the side covers. The frame has had a little touch up, but it's never been repainted. I see some spots where over the years somebody has touched up little spots here and there. Nothing significant. The best part of the bike probably is this original exhaust system, especially the muffler. And the correct code is right there for this bike. There's also a Sankhya code under here somewhere that might pick up on it. But you also see that there's no problems whatsoever with the exhaust. It's practically a new one. I had a double of a time getting these drains sourced. One of them was easy to find, the other one was impossible. But that all worked out. One thing I'll say about the paint, depending on the sun angle, sometimes I think it's a difference between the steel tank and the plastic side covers. They just seem to reflect light differently depending on the light. It's sort of a quirk of digital photography, but in some of the videos and photographs it looks like there's fading on the tank or the side cover. In real life, when you look at it, it looks like they match. So I think that's just a quirk of lighting and digital photography. Well, hopefully this video has shown you some of the great details on this bike. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.